What's up, everybody? This is Steve from AltCoin Buzz, and after yesterday's video where I talked about my top picks for privacy coins, I got a lot of comments from you guys suggesting that we check out some other coins. So even prior to that, we were seeing a lot of chatter in our community about people saying, hey, check out ColX, ColX, which is ColossusCoinXT. But more in particular, we had also seen a lot of chatter in response on that privacy coin video for us to check out a coin called NAV. So video on that coming up as well soon, so we can break that down and explain that to those of you who also have not heard much about that project. This video is to go over ColX. So we wanted to see Derek Jutz. He said ColX to the moon. A lot of people in here telling us to check out NAV coin. A lot of people telling us to check out, did you hear about ColossusCoinXT, which is ColX coin, which is built on top of PIVX, and PIVX was mentioned in this Buy Privacy Coins video. There's also some mention for Deep Onion, so we're definitely seeing you guys mentioning a lot of these coins out there, and we're jumping in and learning as much about them as we can, so thanks a lot for pointing those out for us, guys. All right, now let's go and take a look at CoinMarketCap and see what's going on with ColX. So I've been watching it for about an hour while I've been trying to kind of study up on their most recent news and find anything else really noteworthy about them. One thing I've noticed is that they just recently had a big run up. So they went from, they're still under a quarter of a penny. So for 1 cent, you can get 4 of these things, meaning, you throw $10 at it, throw $100 at it, whatever you want to do, you can gain a massive supply. But I want to point out a few key things. So we already have a relatively low mid market cap. So it's not $1 million coin. It's almost a $10 million market cap. It has 4 million circulating supply. They've already mined 12 million and a max supply, or billion, sorry. And they have a max supply of 13 billion. So there's a heck of a lot more that can go into circulation. So you guys do need to be aware of that it could be diluted if they decide to release a ton of them. Just be on the lookout for that. We don't want you to, if this thing let's say this thing went to like 10 cents and the team decided to release a billion of these things, it could dilute the marketplace pretty quick. They'd be dumb to do that, but people will do what they will do. So if you're looking at it, it's ColossusCoinXT, goes by the ticker ColX. And I'm checking this out on CoinMarketCap, and then we'll head over to their site. So here's that big run up I'm talking about. People could have bought this coin, snatched it up for like 10,000th of a dollar. Satoshi's off the chart. And then it peaked out just recently. So much easier to look at this by one day. So let's go to that. So just in the last couple days, it seems to have peaked out and hit an all-time high. So be aware that if you're buying it right now, you are buying it coming off an all-time high. We're not sure necessarily where this coin will settle in at, but being the fact that it's a really, really low cost privacy coin and it's got a large circulating supply, you can bet that this was meant for large scale microtransactions. So meaning a lot of people circulating these coins and transacting on day to day on the privacy side. So it hasn't hit anywhere near a penny in its lifetime. So that would be a precedence for it. And you can imagine that if it did get up to close to 1 cent, you'd be looking about a $40 million market cap. That's still ridiculously tiny. So room to grow there. If it got to 40 million, it'd still have lots of legs to get up to 100 million. And then that would put it in the, around the 2.5, 3 cent mark, which would mean 10x gains for you guys if that happened. So I'm not a predictor there, but certainly has been a lot of volume here, a lot of hype, and maybe that's part of why you guys have been jumping in, trying to find out, you're going to miss out if you don't get in on that coin. Let's talk about it and see what it's all about. But so you brought it to our attention, so let's dive further into that. Let's check out their website, which you can always link to, of course, from CoinMarketCap to make sure you get to the legitimate site, but it's ColossusCoinXT.org. And they've got a video that plays here if you want to do that. I'll spare you that, but if you want to check it out, just a 1-minute video that explains what they are. Now, I think the video could have done a heck of a lot more to explain the actual tech behind the product. So I'm kind of sensing that, yeah, maybe there's good reason why this coin has such a low current trading value. But then again, I see lots of potential, and I'm a big fan of privacy coins just on a personal level. So I see the use of those. I don't recommend necessarily that people go and put all of their money into privacy coins. You certainly could, and if you do that, I recommend that you spread it out amongst many privacy coins, and then put some of those in your wallet, some of them on an exchange, some of them that are kind of locked away. But that's up to you. So this is one of those proof of stake coins, the POS coins, as you'd call it. Kind of a funny acronym to be going with when we're talking about a coin under a penny. But they also have master nodes. So if you've got at least 10 million ColX or ColX, how are you guys pronouncing this? Comment below, like phonetically. How are you saying ColX? ColX? It's missing a vowel there, in my opinion. So you can buy those master nodes and then lock them in, and then you can stake, and then they do minting and awarding, and it's proof of stake concept rather than proof of work. So it says right here that they're an open source, community driven, and environmentally conscious cryptocurrency as an alternative to Bitcoin that features better anonymity. Should provide better anonymity than Bitcoin, I guess. It allows people to store and invest their wealth in a non-government controlled currency and make almost instantaneous and completely anonymous transfers with close to zero fees. ColossusCoin was founded as a long-standing, energy-efficient, and environmentally friendly digital cryptocurrency, and this concept is being continued. So energy efficiency is key, which leads to environmental friendliness, because really that's your impact. Bitcoin, being that it takes somewhere around $1,000 of electricity and a massive amount of upfront capital investment into getting the mining equipment, it's $1,000 is a lot of electricity for an average person. That could be many months of their entire electric bill. And think about how many Bitcoins are minted on a daily basis. So, it's not necessarily burning a hole in the ozone layer. Speaking of which, I haven't heard a lot of talk about the ozone layer since I was back in grade school. Seems like after the Clinton administration, they kind of quit bringing that up. So it makes you really wonder if there is a hole out there. But if there is, I guess then you could say that maybe some type of environmental damage is being caused by Bitcoin and all the amount of electricity going into minting it, mining it, so on and so forth. But they've got a lot of news on their website, at least. Some of it's not necessarily recent, but I'll tell you, one of the things that's really holding these guys back and keeping their value low, let's go take a look at their markets here on CoinMarketCap. So they're not really listed anywhere or anywhere significant. Seeing that they're on CoinsMarkets, I'm not on that. They're on TradeSatoshi, which is like a light version of an exchange, and that's also where some of the least amount of trading activity is going on with these guys. That's the only two places you could pick them up. So if this turns out to be something that gets a big boom and they end up on something like Bittrex, Binance, Cryptopia, HitBTC, one of those other types of exchanges, Ether Delta even, that you could see, well, they might not end up there, but where you could see that they could potentially boom, because right now it's just like in a weird place where people can't really give it a large amount of money. And for being on such odd exchanges, it's kind of impressive that they've got almost $10 million market cap. See, it just went up 100,000 in market cap there just from a small shift. So, just little swings in price seem to be contributing greatly to this type of project. Let's see what else we got here. All right, so it looks like last month in November, so it was about a month ago, got to be aware that they're looking very heavily to get onto Cryptopia. So this would be big news for them if they can get listed. There's more people on Cryptopia, from my understanding, than TradeSatoshi. I use Cryptopia, and I'm just kind of newly getting into TradeSatoshi because SafeX finally got listed there, and I've got a decent chunk in stake, decent stake in SafeX. That's been an interesting project to follow, but. So no word yet if they're actually getting their alternative and use BTC. So it looks like they're trying to send. They're going to convert over there. All right, so just keep your eye on that. That could be big news. Maybe even a reason that a lot of people are jumping into it. Let's go to their social chatter here and see what they're doing. They're giving away coins. So they also had some masternodes in the green during the dip right before Christmas. If you want to check them out, it looks like their official Twitter is at ColossusCoinXT. So go ahead and check them out. And here's how they break themselves down. So Dash is like the big daddy currently in market capital for privacy coins. So they seem to be benchmarking themselves against that. And they talk about how one's proof of work, their proof of stake, hash algorithms called Quark. If you know what Quark is, go ahead and comment that. I'd like for someone to explain that to me. I hadn't really come across that. Certainly don't know everything. Hardware mineable, nope. Okay, so that's something. It's about 3 times faster, 2.5 times faster actually than the block time on Dash. And we talked about that, where Dash is about 2.5 minute average block time when we were talking about privacy coins in yesterday's video. All right, so 12 billion were in the Genesis block. Okay, so that's how we got this total supply that was created, plus probably some mining that's occurred since then, but they haven't circulated all of it. So, the public, John Q. Public, which would be us, only has their hands on about 1/3 of what they've originally created in their Genesis block. All right. So if you want to read more about it, go ahead and dive in. I'd be interested in finding out. So for you guys that were asking us to review this coin, what got you the most excited about it? I'm still kind of I'm still trying to get my feelers out for these things that have master nodes and all that, because it's just an interesting concept. I like the fact that it's a privacy coin, that they obfuscate the sender and that sort of stuff. Someone claimed it was based on the PIVX blockchain, which would be big because we've been talking really highly about PIVX lately. Just kind of explain to me, what about this project stands out for you? We never want to hear that it's just because it's cheap. I mean, if that's the case, then I'll give it a little bit of consideration, throw a little bit of money at it with nothing really to lose. But diving into it from a big time standpoint, I can see that their website at least has a cool design. They're definitely active, and there's been a lot of activity with them lately. But seeing that you're going to jump in at an all-time high, you got to get onto TradeSatoshi. That could be holding a lot of people back. So if you've already gone in and bought your core position on these guys, are you planning on sitting on it, or did a lot of you guys take profit already with it having gone up over the last week? And then where do you guys predict this coin landing in at? I'll go in and I'll just kind of make like a gut check on that. So if we're sitting at $10 million of market cap right now, I don't see it being overly difficult for a coin like this to get to $50 million of market cap. I mean, coins will swing that much sometimes just within hours. But let's just say that it gets to a nice, healthy $100 million market cap. All right, so where would that put you? And that would put you at about 2.25 cents per coin. And that would be roughly 10x gains. So I say that's not out of the realm of possibility, and in probably the short term, especially, it looked like by April they're looking at getting listed on Cryptopia, but that could happen faster than that. It looks like one of the exchanges that they're on, or were on, is going to get dumped in April. So people have to move their currency somewhere else, from what I'm picking up on this. But yeah, I'm a big fan of coins, privacy coins in particular, altcoins, all that stuff. But I'm gonna kind of dive into this a little bit more, and I'd like to get some more of your feedback. So for like the 1,000 people in the last 24 hours that it feels like, at least, that have said, hey, check out Colossus. Try to sell me on it. Tell me what is going on through your head. What am I missing out on? Because they got a lot of info on their website. I don't have time yet to dive into their community and get onto their Slack and things like that. But I definitely see that there's a lot of potential here, especially with their wallets. Maybe I'll pick up some of the coins and try out their wallet. I'd probably learn a lot more about that. So I'll download that and check it out. Pick up some of the coins on TradeSatoshi. Man, I almost fell out of my head already. And see what it's all about, because I'll send some coins back and forth and see exactly kind of how the technology works, see if it really sticks to its 60-second block time, because I've been seeing some real big lag the last day or so. Maybe because there's a lot more injection going on in the market in general, as we're hitting, are we still above? Yeah, so we're still above $600 billion total market. And there we go, a little bit of movement on the price there. But this is Steve from Altcoin Buzz signing off. Make sure to subscribe, and if you're a fan of ColX, drop below some comments on what's the biggest breakthrough coming up here. Give us the news, and we'll revisit this topic a little bit later and see where it goes from here.